The Shade, number 4, written by James Robinson, art by Darwin Cook. Last issue we left off with Shade coming across his great-grandson, Darnell Caldecott, and he's on his deathbed. This issue is it's written in the framing device of Shade writing in his diary, his journal, but he's recounting April 14th, 1944. So it all takes place back in the 40s, and it's Darwin Cook art, and I'm just saying right now, it's gorgeous. I love it. But he was doing some heist in Opal City. He was trying to get information out of a man. He recounts how he was never particularly patriotic, but as he was trying to get some information to have this heist, the guy's like, "Oh, I thought you wanted to know about the Caldecott affair. Thank God you don't want to know about that." And Shade's like, "Well, now I'm interested." So he figures out what this man is talking about, and as it turns out, this man, Darnell Caldecott, was this massively wealthy American/English man. He was born English, naturalized American, and he'd thrown all of his money and all of his factories into the war effort. So he was a big target for the Nazis, and the Caldecott affair that Shade learned about was that he was to be assassinated. So he wanted to interfere, so he got together a team to protect Caldecott. We cut to the factory where Caldecott is, and his wife is trying to convince him to go into FBI hiding, so that way the Nazis can't get to him and assassinate him. We see he has an assistant, an older woman named Miss Sharp, and basically Miss Sharp's just there to present some news, but as Caldecott is talking to his wife, he asks for Miss Sharp's opinion, and Miss Sharp's like, "Well, I suppose you would do better for the world alive rather than dead." And Caldecott's like, "All right, I guess I'll go into FBI hiding, but I'm taking you with me, Miss Sharp. We're going to be doing things even in hiding." And he's like, "Oh, very good, sir. That's fine." And the wife is so happy about it. But we cut to the first adventurer that Shade got involved in this protecting Caldecott thing, and that is the Vigilante, who shortly after Caldecott went on FBI hiding, his wife disappeared. She was taken by someone who's trying to get information on where her husband is. So Shade gives Vigilante some information as to the location of a bunch of gangs, and he goes out and he gets information on where Caldecott's wife is. And finally he finds her. He ducks in as she's about to reveal the information to some Nazi sympathizers, and he strings up the guys, shoots them dead, and he rescues Caldecott's wife. But turns out that she was actually in league with them the entire time. She didn't like how the profits were taking a dip due to the war efforts, like throwing it all into there. So she was going to kill her husband and then get all of the money that was owed to her. So she's got a gun trained on Vigilante, but then Shade comes in, strings her up, and was just like, okay. Well, how about you tell me exactly where your husband is and what the plan is for the Nazis? And she's like, okay, yeah, sure. So we see that them doing work while he was in hiding involved them testing out this new experimental plane. So they're on the plane, being held at gunpoint by the Nazis, and they being Caldecott and Miss Sharp. And the Nazis are just talking about how much they hate Caldecott and how they're happy they're doing this. And Caldecott goes to protect Miss Sharp, but then Miss Sharp just starts kicking ass. She just starts going crazy. And it turns out it's not a she. It's actually Richard Stanton, who is a retired actor who's fighting crime now on behalf of the Shade. He's kicking ass and trying to save Caldecott. One of the guys up top has a gun trained on her, but then Shade gets involved, basically buries the entire flight in shadow, knocks all of the Nazis out, dumps them in the ocean beneath. And in return for Stanton's help, Shade reveals how he did some investigating and found where Stanton's daughter is, which is apparently something that he had been trying to do for the past 11 years. So he helps out in his life, and then they land the plane and they go out to a beach where Caldecott and Shade can get some peace and quiet and safety, and basically reveals the whole thing of the wife and everything like that. And Caldecott's, of course, upset about it, but he's more interested because he realizes that Shade is the family secret that his family has always had. How Shade is Caldicott's great grandfather, and he's always just wondered, like, do you have the powers that you have, and the family's always had rumors about you. Why did you leave the family? Why don't you talk? And he's just asking all these questions, and Shade just explains, like, I left my family because my humanity died. I couldn't bear to put my wife in danger, your great grandmother. I did see her one time before she died in 1901. I saved you because you're my blood and you're my descendant, and I'm proud of you for what you're doing. And they just sit and they talk and they walk down the beach for a while. And Shade shares some stories with him, and then he recounts in the journal framing device that the last time that he saw him was that day until today, where he met him in Australia on his deathbed, and that's where the issue leaves off, picking up again, I assume, next time with whatever's happening with Darnell. I love this issue. This was fantastic. It's Darwin Cook set in the 1950s or any time around there. Just, mwah, I love it so much. It just fits it so well of the pulpy style. And the story, it was just a nice little wrapped up one and done, but it also set up this character who we're going to be seeing more of in the future. It's just all around master craftsmanship. I am so down for this. I'm giving this one an 8.5. Definitely check it out if you haven't. If not the entire series, then at least this issue, because it's just, especially if you like that pulpy style, it's just fantastic. Darwin Cook's art is phenomenal, and I'm just going to keep singing its praises. So it's good, get it.